Ashley Force Hood. She's set to race Gary Densham. She's on the Western Swing in an El Monte RV with her husband, Danny. Wow, what a road trip that must be. But it's her sisters that were up to some hijinks this weekend as well, as Brittany and Courtney turned Mike Neff's lounge into a feng shui den? Mike, what the heck is that?
That's something Roland used to tell me after I blew his race car up, but maybe it was a little bit different than that.
This has something to do with bamboo and whatnot, and well, that's why we brought Mike Neff and Robert Hight to talk a little bit about the struggles they're going through trying to get into the top 10 in funny car as we edge ever closer to the countdown to 1. And Mike, let's start. Allegedly the feng shui thing, you bring in some bamboo things, tie them together, put a couple of other things in there. It's supposed to bring you luck. Well, after qualifying, you're in the top 10. So is it working?
Yeah, I was a little nervous there. The first 3 runs didn't look like it was working too well. It looked like it was more of a mojo, but it worked on the last run, made a good run, and got ourselves up into the top of the field. So, yeah, I'd say so far it's starting to pan out.
Yeah, it looked pretty good. But, Robert, I've got to ask you, because basically there have been testing limitations put on the teams this year in an effort to save some money. You're only allowed 4 test sessions since Pomona. Your team used to test heavily. How much has that played into your struggles this year?
Oh, I think it's a big deal. You know, we're having to go out there and try to work out our problems and race and qualify, and it makes it a lot tougher deal. So, you know, I think it's definitely hurt the bigger budgeted teams, but it's the same. You know, I don't think Tony Pedregon's made a test run all year, so it's hard to knock what they're doing. You know, Guido hasn't made a lot of test runs with Ashley's car. He's stuck with the same combination, and I think that's kind of what's bit us, is we're changing too much. We got to get something and settle down and work it out and get it working right.
Well, here's what the fans have to say. I know we got one good sign out there. Hey, it's the No Excuses Racing Tour, and they got all you guys on there, and I know you guys don't make excuses, but when you take a look at the brain trust that's in over at John Force Racing, from Austin Coyle, Bernie Federley, Dean Antonelli, and Ron Douglas, John Miller, Jimmy Prock, Eric Lane, the numbers go on and on. Mike, you're a former crew chief. It's not for lack of brain power, correct?
That's right. But you know, anybody that just believes they'll be in the top 10, you know, you start the season and there's more than 10 real good competitive funny cars out there, and it's a tough class. So to believe that you're going to make the top 10, that's wrong. So you know, we just got to work harder, and we have 5 races left, and we can do this.
Could there be too much, Neff?
You just can't make any mistakes at this point. It's crunch time, and you know, all these cars are running good. You don't get a good pick in the field anymore, especially if you slip up qualifying your race in a hitters, and not everybody's making mistakes. It doesn't seem like you're catching any breaks here lately, so it's time to perform now.
Well, that is something that Ron Capps has been doing all season long. As I mentioned, he has taken the #1 spot in the points after qualifying by 1 point over Robert and Mike's teammates, and right now he's standing by with Gary Joe.
Now, Dave, when he got the victory last week on the mountain in Denver, it was his 5th of the year, and that ties the most he's ever won in a single season. He's done it a couple of times in the past, but as success mounts, and you're now #1 by a point in the point standings, what kind of pressure does it create to live up to that, to sustain the momentum?
I've been asked that this morning. Pressure is no pressure. It's fun right now. Pressure is waking up in Pomona, and you and 3 other guys almost tied going into the last day of the season, the last race. That's pressure. Being a doctor's pressure. Being a school teacher, that's pressure. This is fun right now. When the countdown starts, there's going to be more pressure, but right now we're trying to enjoy it. We know that we're going to be in the countdown. We're trying to lead going to the countdown, gain those extra 20 points. But the Napa guys, we woke up Monday morning, we forgot that we won Denver. We're focusing on this racetrack here, and Ace is trying a lot of things, and we're doing a lot of testing, so it's a little difficult to stay focused on that side of it. But there's a guy, Ed McCulloch, makes you focus Sunday morning, so I feel pretty good about today.
Well, we got great conditions, no doubt about that, and that first round is going to be very interesting. He's got the defending series champion Cruz Pedregon as his first challenge today.
Including our upset alerts on the horns. What do you got, Mike?
Well, I'm going to pick Del Worsham over the boss, John Force. And hey, come on now.
You've been so stellar this year, though, Mike.
You don't love Del? Come on, where's the love? But Del, I was guaranteeing, was hoping for cloud cover this morning. Doesn't look like he's going to get it, so that's going to be a little bit harder for him. So, but I like his chances. But I want to ask about John. I mean, we're talking about pressure. How is John handling the pressure?
I think he lives for pressure situations. You know, if things are just going along smooth and easy, John's looking for some way to turn it up a little bit and shake it up. So he loves this kind of stuff. He lives for this.
Mike, we're going to turn now to the fans and find Brooke Rivers from Pulaski, New York, who's got a fan question for you, keeping in mind you're still relatively new to this class. So, Brooke, go ahead, fire away, along with that good-looking dog, Memphis.
Hey, Mike, how scared were you the first time you hit throttle on your funny car?
That's a good question.
That's a very good question. I really don't like to admit it, but I was actually really scared because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't, know if that thing was going to try to flip over backwards, and the last thing I wanted to do was run into anything. So I was real nervous, but after, running it out there a few hundred feet, definitely a big sigh of relief after it was over.
Very good question. Thank you. Guys, quickly, Mike Neff, you raced the new Toyota Varenne. Your thoughts quickly?
They've been running good, and it's going to be a tough first round. It's going to be warm out there, I think, for the first round, so just can't make any mistakes.
And Robert, I don't even want to ask you. You got a Ford matchup. Good luck to both of you guys today. You raced Tim Wilkerson.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much for joining us. Have a safe NHRA race.